If you love Kinder chocolate and no-bake desserts, these are for you. What's up guys, and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make no-bake Kinder Cheesecake Bars. These are really easy to make, there's no fancy ingredients needed, and they taste amazing. They have a buttery biscuit base, they have a smooth, creamy Kinder Cheesecake filling, topped with a silky chocolate ganache, and chunks of Kinder Bueno. Kinder Cheesecake's actually one of my favorite flavored cheesecakes, so let's get going. First, you're going to start by crushing up the biscuits. I'm using Digestive biscuits, which is a real classic for cheesecake bases over here in the UK. But if you don't have Digestive biscuits, you could always use graham crackers or something similar. So I'm going to crush these in my food processor to a fine crumb, but you could always use a bag and rolling pin if you don't have one. So I'm gonna have to do mine in 2 batches because my food processor is too small, but that totally depends on the size of your food processor. So let's crush these up. Okay, that looks pretty good to me, so there should be no large lumps left. I'm gonna tip these into a bowl and then crush these up, and then we'll be back. All of our biscuits are now fully crushed, so I've just poured them into a medium mixing bowl here, and I'm gonna be adding in our melted butter. I'm using salted butter today because I really like a salty base for this cheesecake, but unsalted butter will work just as well. I actually melted my butter in the microwave on a medium heat for about 1 minute. Make sure you cover it so it doesn't make a mess. So we're just gonna pour this in and just mix it together with a spoon until all the biscuits are fully coated. It should resemble a wet sand, or wet sand. A wet sand? Wet sand. There we go, that looks good. This is actually one of my favorite parts of the cheesecake. I feel like I could literally just eat this with a spoon. Now I'm gonna pour this into a tin. This is an 8-inch square tin, which I've lined with baking paper. I always use Bacco foil non-stick baking paper because it's my favorite. Not sponsored, it's just really thick and it holds its shape. And people ask me a lot. So I'm just gonna spread this out evenly and then just press it down really firmly so it's nice and compact and it holds together. Okay, perfect. So I'm just gonna set this aside in the fridge now while we make the Kinder Cheesecake filling. Moving on to the cheesecake filling, you're gonna need full fat cream cheese. I like to use Philadelphia cream cheese because it's really nice and thick and we need the cheesecake to hold its shape. I've found that some supermarket own brands can be a bit loose and watery, which means the cheesecake doesn't always set as well. You're also gonna need icing sugar, I was about to say powder, icing sugar or powdered sugar if you're in the US, and Kinder chocolate. I'm actually gonna start by melting my Kinder chocolate in the microwave because we want to let this cool slightly before adding it into the cream cheese. So pop it in a microwave safe bowl and in the microwave on a medium heat in about 30-second bursts, stirring frequently until fully melted. Our Kinder chocolate is now melted, so it should be this nice light brown color. So I'm just gonna set this aside to cool a little bit more. Now grab a large mixing bowl and we're gonna start by adding in our cream cheese. This needs to be at room temperature so it mixes nice and smoothly. Now adding in the icing sugar and our cooled Kinder chocolate. You could also add in vanilla extract here if you wanted to, but to be totally honest, the Kinder chocolate is the main flavor, so I don't really feel like it needs vanilla, but it's totally up to you. Now grab an electric hand mixer, or you could use a stand mixer. You can just use a rubber spatula to mix it together, but I always find something electric works best. So we're just gonna whisk this together until it's all nice and smooth, but make sure you don't over mix as this can make it go runny and it won't set as well. We still want it to hold its shape. There we go. So nice and smooth, no lumps left, but still nice and thick. I've just brought our base out of the fridge, so now we're gonna scoop on the cheesecake. This looks so good. Now I'm just gonna smooth this out with the back of a spoon. You want to make sure it's nice and level, but don't worry if it doesn't look perfect because we're gonna be topping it with a Kinder Ganache in a minute. That looks great, so I'm just gonna set it aside in the fridge while we make the Ganache topping. for the Kinder Ganache topping, you only need 2 ingredients: Kinder chocolate broken into pieces and double cream, or heavy cream if you're in the US. So just pop the Kinder chocolate into a microwave safe jug or a bowl. Then we're gonna pour the cream over the top. Now I'm gonna pop this in the microwave on a medium heat, so about 500 watts again, for about 1 minute, and then we'll be back. Now let the ganache stand for a couple of minutes so the chocolate starts to melt, then stir it with a spoon. You actually want to be really gentle here because you don't want to get too many air bubbles in the ganache. I do find that Kinder Ganache tends to be a bit lighter and a bit more bubbly than a regular ganache, so you just gotta be extra careful with it. There we go, that looks great. So it should be nice and smooth with no lumps left, but it should still be warm and pourable, but not piping hot because we don't want to melt our cheesecake. Now it's time to pour it over our cheesecake. So try to do this slowly and evenly so it covers the whole cheesecake. And then use the back of a spoon to spread it all the way out to the edges. So just be gentle with this because you don't want to disturb the cheesecake underneath. Just gonna give this a little shake as well to give it a really nice smooth finish. Now for the finishing touches, the Kinder Bueno. So you can break this up or chop it into pieces if you want to make it really neat. And I'm just gonna place these on top. So you can either slice this into 16 pieces or 9 pieces. I like to put a chunk in the middle of each slice. So I'm gonna do 9 today for some slightly bigger chunks for the camera, you know. So place it about there. I should really start in the middle and find the middle and then work around it. I think that's the middle. Okay, that looks perfect. So now this needs to go in the fridge for at least 3 hours to fully set, but I always recommend refrigerating it overnight for the best texture. Our cheesecake is now fully set, so I'm gonna remove it from its tin and slice it into pieces. I've actually just heated up my knife so it makes it slightly easier to cut through. Clean your knife in between each slice. I'm quite impressed with myself. I think that is the most evenly I've ever cut something. Okay, I'm gonna go for this bit. Let's pop it on a little plate. I'm so excited for this. Oh my gosh, that is so good. The cheesecake is really rich and creamy. The base is crumbly and salty, and the Kinder Ganache is just so smooth and chocolatey. Everything together just tastes so good. Oh my gosh. So guys, that is the end of today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know if you try the cheesecake bars, or let me know what recipe I should make next in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Bye. I have hair stuck to my lip gloss.